What's up, everybody? It's Steve Tuma back here with another Oklahoma State football breakdown. And this time, I want to take a dive into Dominic Richardson, a big dive into Dominic Richardson, who's going to lead this OSU backfield. And, unlike last year where you had a couple different backs and a big emergence with Jaylen Warren, a couple more experienced, proven guys, this year it's really just Dominic Richardson and a couple unknowns. That's why the depth here is very shaky. And it's not to say, guys won't emerge, do well, but they have close to no experience. Even Dominic Richardson has very little experience, but still, he's been here 2 years. He's had some big gains, big moments. Last year had 79 carries, 379 yards, I believe, 4 touchdowns maybe. And he showed a lot of good things in his 2 years here. But, he's the alpha back now, and he's a guy that, depending on how the depth shakes out, he could have a lot of carries, Jaylen Warren type carries like he did last year. Because when Jaylen Warren was racking up 35 carries, it was out of necessity. Not to say he doesn't talent, of course he's talented, but Mike Gundy's always liked to use multiple backs when he can. And Jaylen Warren obviously is very talented, a big boost for OSU, but also, again, out of necessity. But Dominic Richardson right now is that alpha. He's that number one back, and he's a very intriguing prospect. I like him a lot, and I want to take a big dive into his rushing ability, his receiving ability, his blocking ability. We'll just take a look at all of it. So we'll start out there with his rushing ability. And when we talk about traits, Richardson is a power back, right? That is his classification. And since his freshman year, he's been OSU's best power back. He's the guy that's going to lower his shoulder, truck through defenders, strong, physical, north-south runner. He's not going to dance. He's going to seek contact, runs good pad level, and just, run right into it. He's going to carry defenders along, fall forward for a couple extra yards. He's all those traits you look for. He's the guy that's going to pile up, yards after contact. He's got some one cut elements where he's going to find the hole. He's got good vision, and we'll see a lot of those things in play. So we'll start out. We'll watch his play first, and then we'll go break it down. So Sanders takes a handoff, hands it off, and you see what arm tackle, drags a couple more yards, and keeps going. And again, this is all the things we're talking about, right? So as you see it run, you get the handoff here, and as that play is going, right, he's at this point, he could go through here, he could go through here, but he is the guy who's going to go upfield, right? North-south runner. He at this point, he just kind of glides through and goes, right? And you see it, watch it a little slower to kind of pick up on it, right? So as he's got this defender right here, it doesn't matter. He wants to push that ball upfield, right? So he does that, and he breaks an arm tackle. That's what he's going to do. And then he's just going to lower it, right? Lowers his shoulder, takes that contact, and keeps going. And that's what he's going to do. He's going to seek that contact, and he's going to go forward. He's going to pick up yards that way, and that's his style. And I think one of his underrated aspects is the ability to make a guy miss. Not at the way, he's not a Deuce Vaughn. He's not going to go crazy with the jukes and change of direction and all that. But he's got a little smoothness to him when he can make a guy miss. Not just in the open field, though. What I like is his ability to do in the backfield. There are a lot of instances where you'll see a linebacker, a defensive lineman from the other team, break through the line and get right in Richardson's face. But he's able to hold that. Watch that here, right? He gets it, and then let's watch back 1 second. Right here, right? Watch this guy right here. He's going to break through, right? And right there. He's in Richardson's face right now. So what does Dominic do? He cuts that back to the right. And then from there, he gets just enough of a step and pair that with his power. He breaks that arm tackle like it's nothing. And yes, he gets hit, right? He gets hit by another guy. But what were we talking about? His strength, his contact balance. He keeps his legs turning. And because of that, you're going to see him grab a couple more yards. Right, let's watch that now. From right here. He grabs it, goes to the right, gets hit again, and even when he's hit his own man, he keeps just going forward to pile up a few more yards. That's his style. That's what he's going to do. And over here, we're going to be looking at outside zone look. We're going to see the vision and the ability to just cut upfield, and then you'll see him the second level. So let's watch this, right? So he grabs it, cuts up, and then here, right, arm tackle. Now that juke move, right, is very smooth, and just in that second level does it seamlessly where you don't even notice it at first sometimes. And as we go back, we'll take here, right? We'll take in slow motion as he's getting the handoff. He's looking, And this guy right here, this defender, he's going to come to the outside. And Texas Tech kind of screws themselves over a little bit because they're running a blitz from the other side. Sometimes it's misfortune. But, as this defender again, he's going to that outside. So Dominic Richardson makes that cut upfield. And from there, yes, he's got this guy right here on his back. But again, that power, right, breaks the arm tackles. Right, doesn't get pulled down. That's his style, right? And then when he's in the open field, you see that nice little cut. And there you can see some of the burst and acceleration. Obviously, that's not his strong suit. That's not what he's best at. But he's got some underrated burst. You see here, right? Once he's up, see it go. And then just that ability to change and move and make that guy miss and keep going. He doesn't have the best top-end speed, but he's got enough, I think. And to me, that's a play that really exemplifies what Dominic Richardson is, right? Obviously, power backs, we just think, line up under center, hand him the ball, let them run into some guys. But also here, even when he needs to find the hole, put his foot on the ground, and then go upfield and break the arm tackles, use a little finesse when he needs to. I like that, and I think that's what's going to make him good. And over here, out of the two tight end look, I like this a lot. Watch him just kind of glide in that backfield, find the hole, and just go through, right? Alright, gets through and then puts his shoulder down and goes all the way to that first down marker. Now watch it. As he's going, right, he kind of sets up the linebacker. This guy right here, Colin Schooler. As Richardson's going, it's very subtle, but as he's going to the right, this linebacker, he's not going to shoot the gap until he sees where Richardson's going, right? So as Richardson, who's going just ever so slightly to the right, Schooler is going to keep drifting over toward that side. And then at the very last second, you see that little glide, right, to that left, and then just gets a little skinny and gets inside that hole and is able to go right through and then yards after contact. Very smooth. Now, when I talk about making a man miss, it's always key and always important in football. But I think with OSU's anticipated offensive line struggles, it's going to be even more key. Now, watch this play, watch it, and again, we'll step back out right after. Handoff right there, and then goes, puts his shoulder down. I'm sure you're starting to see a theme, right? Over here, as this play starts going, right here, Hunter Woodard. He is getting pushed around. There's a lot of penetration from that defensive lineman. But because Richardson is, smooth on his feet, he's able to just step, glide over to that left, very subtly, and from there, he just strikes right through that hole. That's, again, what you need, right? Simple little things. Gets a handoff, move to the left, and then goes. So I like the smoothness and ability to change very subtly. And over here, you're going to see a similar look once again. Right? Makes that guy miss. And over there, he doesn't have the time to glide and just go over in one smooth movement. But it's not, start-stop ability the way you're talking about with elite guys. But he can slow down just enough and then keep his balance. And then just, look at that right here. Hunter Woodard again, getting pushed around. These tapes are not very friendly to Hunter Woodard. But as that penetration is coming right in Richardson's face, he's able to just slow down just enough, get around that. Because right there, it's 3rd and 1. That becomes a 4th and longer situation. But now he can get around, and then there's just a big hole there. And then again, puts his shoulder down. And that's what Dominic Richardson does. We'll see that one last time. Right on the split zone look. So he's going to that right. Kansas does a good job cutting that off. But right here, he's able to move. And then from there, first down. Now over here, we're going to see Silas Bard go in motion a few times. He's going to have that backfield. And then over here, we'll hand off. And again, watch that nice, very quick step. Right? That's a very good angle for you to see Dominic make that little cut. From right here, Shane Ellenwood hands it off. Then Dominic Richardson, again, this time Taylor Maturko is the one giving up penetration to this guy right here. But again, Richardson, as he comes in, quick little step, right? Look at this distance, right? This is a tackle many times. But quick little step to just make that guy miss. Again, he's not the most elusive guy in the world. But what he makes up for what he lacks in elusiveness is his power and his ability to break those arm tackles. Just give him a little sliver. And then from here, watch his speed in the open field. Again, not amazing, but ample enough, right? And again, at the end, watch him hold on to that ball, right? He's out in that open field. Watch, he's gonna protect the ball. He's running. He's got both hands on it. He's ready to take contact and goes and gets a lot of yardage. Say that one last time. Gets a snap. Guy comes in. And that's the thing. Sometimes that's the underrated aspect, I think. We know about the power. We know about his ability to truck guys. But that little subtle step in the backfield is something that I think is going to make a big difference. Here we'll see bar in motion one more time. Same sort of concept in that sense. And then you watch that defender spin down right there. And he's the key right here. That guy right there. So watch this play. And Richardson's going to go out. Now, the reason I said that guy was key, right? That defender right there, what does he do? When that ball is snapped, he needs to be playing contain on the back end, on that back side. For what reason? For the exact reason we just saw with Dominic Richardson, cutting it back, right? Because this play is all going to that left. But because this guy, again, gets fooled in that bootleg, doesn't hold contain, and you know what's even sillier, because this isn't Spencer Sanders who has the ability to rush the ball off that bootleg. It's Shane Ellingworth who is not going to do that. But still, he loses contain, and Richardson with good vision sees that early and is able to just soak right into this hole. You see him just go, right? And then again, when he's out in the backfield, just enough. You see that. One last time. When he gets that snap, everything's going left, he makes that cut over. His tendency is north-south, and he's going to put his foot in the ground and go up straight. But it's good you can see that vision and just do enough in that sense. Zone running is really an art. It's heavily contingent on the running back, his ability, his vision, and his ability to find the hole. Unlike power run schemes where you're following a lead blocker, a puller, and you have a distinct hole, here you're really you're giving your running back the leniency to find it and make cutback lanes. Jaylen Warren was really great at that, and I think Richardson's pretty solid at it too. Now let's watch this. Let's at least watch the beginning of the play. So as Dominic Richardson starts going to left on zone look, split zone look, everything is going to the left, right? Watch these two guys, specifically the defenders. They're starting to rotate over to that same side, right? Everything is going this side. And so, again, like that play we saw against Kansas, Richardson finds that cutback lane. And this time, unlike a defender just going in on that quarterback, you have a Blaine Green right here. He's going to go and make that great block on that uncovered defender, right, which is his job. And because of that, you have a giant hole right here that Dominic Richardson can just go right through. Right here, we'll see that again. Got the look to the left, and then he cuts back. And watch these two offensive linemen right here. They wipe out this TCU defensive lineman, so they can get to that. One of those guys can get to that second level and get onto this defender. All of it's just well blocked, and just the vision, right? Right here. This is what I was talking about. Now you got these guys right here, completely wiped out. Now let's watch that, and then watch the rest of the play. Right here goes, and then here you see the power, right? His ability to lower shoulder, break some arm tackles, and just keep going. And again, that's what he is. He is the guy who's going to put his shoulder down into D. Winters, nonetheless, who is a very talented defender, linebacker. Right here, right? Puts his shoulder down, almost just keeps going, right? It doesn't interfere with him. And that's what he does. And from there, you see him just, when he gets a little, not even a full head of steam, just gets going, arm tackles, it's hard to bring him down, and then he's going to go and make a big play. Then over here on that outside zone, look to the left. Watch him grab that handoff, and then here he makes that first guy miss. That's the key. Once again, it's him just being light on his feet, right? Watch it. As this defender right here. So Richardson gets the ball, and even when defender's there, he's able to just be, again, light on his feet, make that quick little step, make the defender miss, and then go out. Right, watch it. Grabs it, and then here, goes out. And able to just, again, he's not, electric in the open field. He's not going to go burner down the sideline when he gets out in space. But he's capable. He's got enough speed to turn the corner and go. Right, gets it. And, there may or may not be some holding over here. But either way, gets around and gets down the field. And I feel like the theme just continues. Watch it here. Penetration, right? Big man over here. But what does Richardson do? Just sidesteps it and goes. It's beautiful because we saw Jaylen Warren do this all the time, and that was one of the things that I liked about Jaylen Warren a lot, was not just his contact balance, not just his acceleration burst, not just his vision, not just his cut ability. It was his ability to make a guy miss that was so underrated. There were so many plays that I just watched and could have easily been negative plays, much like this one. You got this defender right here, but what does Dominic Richardson do? Just makes that subtle, quick little step, and because of that, goes from negative to touchdown, right? And then head down, just goes down. And over here, just watch him again as he goes, puts his shoulder down, knocks the guy over, and just keeps going. And that's what he's going to do. He's going to go upfield. At this point where there's this whole clump of defenders right here, this whole clump of people, you could make a case that he could cut back over here to that right side. But that's not his style. He's not going to always, bounce to the outside, rarely going to bounce to the outside. He's going to put his shoulder down and go into someone. That's what he's going to do. For better or worse, that is what he's going to do. And then you'll see just enough burst speed to get out into that field. Now that we took a look at those plays that he does really well and things he does really well as a rusher, I want to take a look at some of these plays where he struggles and see where that kind of comes from. Now over here, watch him take that snap, go, and just get stuffed. And this is just a good job at Texas Tech and a bad job by the offensive line. You win some, you lose some, right? And over here, watch this guy on the corner. He does a beautiful job containing, right? First he's coming down, he's watching Spencer Sanders, and when he realizes Spencer doesn't have the ball, what does he do? He's just holding there, playing contain, making sure there's no cutback, and there probably isn't a cutback anyway because the offensive line is getting pushed, right? All these Texas Tech guys, they're pushing the line that way, and then from there, Dominic Richardson just holds himself and tries to find that hole, just go through. He gets held down by this defender right here, right? You can see him. This whole team just clogs that place, and then the guys come. Then on this one, the offensive line just gets pushed around again. Once he gets a handoff, he's going, and then you just see the swarm of bodies. And a lot of times you can't do too much. It's difficult. You see him, right? When he gets that ball, right here. Here you could make, okay, should he cut out to the right? Perhaps. But again, that's not what he's going to do. He's not going to try to bounce it out too much. He's going to look to go upfield and put his shoulder down, right? And this guy right here just marches his way through. And when Richardson tries and goes, he gets, again, swarmed by a lot of bodies. Tries to hold himself up. Does a good job for a half second, but gets taken down. And again, this is again highlighting that when that offensive line is not able to create any sort of penetration whatsoever, it's going to be difficult, right? Obviously, right? Any running game is going to be like that. But with this guy, he wants to go upfield. He wants to cut it upfield. He wants to be a north and south runner exclusively because he is that is his quality. Now let's watch this one. He gets the ball and then he gets swarmed on. Now this one, yes, the offensive line doesn't get amazing push, but this is again where I want to highlight his need and his want to go upfield. 3rd and 5, right? You're gonna go upfield, but watch it when he gets the ball. Could he go here between Cole Birmingham and Josh Sills? Could he go here between Josh Sills and the rest of this line over here? You got these two holes here, perhaps, but instead, he wants to go upfield. And if you think back to that TCU play we saw where he cut it back and then he shoved down D Winters with his shoulder. This is not the same in the sense of these two linebackers right here. In that TCU play, those two linebackers, they had gone play side, right? They had gone to this side. But right now, Texas Tech, these two guys, they're watching Dominic Richardson. And they do an excellent job holding their ground. And right now, this guy, again, he wants to put his shoulder down, which he does here. But he's got two guys right on him and gets tackled. And again, it's better or worse, right? Hindsight's 20/20. He bounces outside, maybe it's worse, maybe he gets tackled farther, maybe he gets first down. But that's the tendency of what he's going to do. And over here, we're going to see a very wide zone to that left. And Let's watch the play real quick. And from here, Richardson gets tackled. So what Kansas does very well, this defender contains perfectly, right? So as that zone's going to the left, watch him again right there. He is going to contain and keep Richardson right there. And then the other thing, this Kansas front does a very good job of holding that offensive line without really creating a hole. And like we said, like I've been saying, Richardson loves to cut it upfield, right? North-south. But over here, he tries to bounce it out a little bit. And I think some of that has to do with when he does make his cut, he's looking for a pretty distinctive hole, at least something where if he's running into a guy where he's going to push shoulder down in the second level, that's fine. But he wants at least something so where he can find that hole before he cuts. And here he doesn't find it, so he just kind of tries to bounce, lose a few yards on the play. And this is just a blunder on many, many fronts. Looks like a read option play where Spencer doesn't keep it, hands it off to Richardson, and you can just watch the result right there. So, as we go back, when he's handing it off, right, Richardson's here, and it's this defender right here who's causing penetration on Danny Godlewski. And you watch him just get inside, and that's where he just gets his arms on Dominic Richardson. Now we go back a second or two. Right here. Now should he make a cut there? Probably. There is a whole mass right there of a bunch of guys, and this one guy in the middle just pushing more and more penetration. But again, that tendency, he wants to go upfield, put his shoulder down to someone, and over here just results in no gain. Maybe 1 yard. And this looks like another read option look where Richardson going wide and just gets taken out. Now Baylor does a great job, right, with this guy containing very, very well. He holds that edge very well, right? He contains the edge. But Baylor gets some penetration, especially this dude right here. But there's probably, well, two things. One, there's a better case for him to cut upfield, maybe here, maybe here, start cutting upfield. But over here, this is not, a good idea. You got a guy right here. But again, I don't know why he doesn't cut it. Maybe he thinks he can, I don't know what he's thinking because everyone else is blocked. He probably thinks this guy is going to get right into him. But, you got your blocks right here. You got your blocks right here. You got your blocks right here. He cuts it upfield here. It's probably a much better run. But these are not things you see too commonly. Again, I don't know what he's thinking. I'm not Dominic Richardson. But those are things you see sometimes. Now we'll talk about Richardson as a pass catcher, right? Because if he's really going to be taking on a Chuba Hubbard type workload, he's going to be on the field a lot, just like Jaylen Warren was. And I'm not just talking about the carries, but as a 3-down back, it's about pass protection and pass catching to some degree, but mostly pass protection. And over here, we'll just take a look at some of the ways he's used. And it's pretty simple. It's a lot of check down, some screens, flat routes, and a swing routes out of the backfield. Just like here, we'll watch the first one. And over here, grabs the ball, catches it, and goes. And I like his hands. He's got very soft, natural hands as a pass catcher. Right here, catches it in stride and just goes down the field. And it's good to have that reliable option of someone you can just check it down to. And over here, you see him over there, here on the check down, just gets there and catches it. And we just watch his hands real quick, right? Alright, he goes there, and as that ball's there, remember, Sanders also throwing a little bit of heat because he's trying to shove out his body. Watch Richardson's hand right here. He's putting his hands out there. This is a hands catch. He's not just his body catching and letting it come to him. He's going there, making a good catch, and then turning upfield. He's not, stepping too fast before he corrals in the catch. Makes sure of that, and because of that, it's a 3rd and 5. Over here, we'll watch a screen look. Over here, and use. And the reason this is, now you can see, obviously we know what screens are, right? But we can see some of his ability. Again, he's not Deuce Vaughn. He's not some electric guy who's going to make guys miss and string moves together at a high rate. But what he's going to do is give you a chance with his mix of blend of power and elusiveness, balance, and so on. See, when he gets that right here, this defender right here, he's not uncovered, but he was chipped on before. And this is on Richardson to kind of make that one-on-one. But instead, he doesn't juke him out, change directions crazy. What he does is he gets just enough speed and then the arm tackle here. Because he can go. Alright, screen comes. Right here, he's got all your linemen. He's able to make that first guy miss, and that's the key. And from there, he's just got bodies in front of him, able to make something that if that defender catches up, that's, a 0-yard gain, but instead it's 20 yards at least. Over here, just see him come out, a little chip, and then because he's just there for half a second, he's just, making the defense think a little bit more, and from there goes out and just catches it. And again, watch his hands. Right. This is over the shoulders. He's sticking out. He's catching it. We've seen some unnatural hands from running backs, from guys who usually don't catch it, where they completely turn their body just to catch it and then maybe fall down or catch it and lose so much momentum they're not able to run for first down. But here he catches it in stride and goes. And then from there, he almost gets that first down. Maybe he does. I don't remember. But you see here, catches it and gives him a chance. Just a simple little catch and go. Over here, we're going to see Oklahoma State in that sort of spot concept right here. This is where we're going to see it's that 3-level kind of concept. Spencer Sanders is going to go in a 3-step drop, and against man-to-man coverage, what you're really trying to create is sometimes just traffic, right? That's why you see crossing routes where you're able to make those man-to-man defenders slow down for just, a tick. And here it's very similar, where he just gets in, he knows where he's going, because this defender is not catching up to Dominic Richardson in time. So he gets it out to him and in stride. And again, what were we talking about? The hands. It's nothing special. It's just natural, right? Natural, soft hands. You see him, right? Pluck it out of the air, in stride, turn, and go. And again, he's not turning his body around just to catch it. He's got good natural hands. And from there, he, again, almost gets first down. I don't remember. But the point is, that as a pass catcher is definitely a good check down option. Now, when we talk about run blocking, we're usually not talking about halfbacks, right? We're talking about run blocking for them. We're not talking about their run blocking. But in an offense where you have Spencer Sanders and his legs and his athletic ability, their QB design runs and everything, it's a good thing to have a running back who can block. It's just another guy. And over here, Richardson, will watch him. Keep your eyes there. And right here, watch Richardson. Watch him just go and seal off this defender very, very well, and give Sanders a space on the QB draw. And at the beginning point, all these offensive linemen are dropping, right? It's a QB draw, so it looks like a pass play at first. But Richardson's out here, and he's sealing off this guy one-on-one right there, right? And then once the run starts and Sanders starts going upfield, you see Richardson, right? He's pushing him out for a few seconds, and he doesn't even hold him for a whole 5-10 seconds, because now you got Hunter Woodard coming to help you. And from there, seals it off, and Sanders is able to go get a couple good yards. Now over here, we're going to have just another QB design run. QB power to the right. And we got another interesting formation with Dominic Richardson in the trips formation to the right here with, I believe, it's Logan Carter and Blaine Green. And Richardson's over here lined up like a, tight end wide receiver. Interesting place, but this play starts, and Sanders just goes to the right. And then keep your eyes on Richardson right here. He just seals off his defender, not perfectly, but does a little bit enough to create that little seal and create that little hole. But he does let his defender shed a little bit, get some space, and the other side does as well, and Sanders is taken down. But you see how he can just be used in some of those design runs sort of plays. Now, this is an aspect I'm very impressed with. Richardson does a good job just locking in, picking up blitzes, sticking his body in there, recognizing chipping well, and everything. And over here, we start with this, right? Richardson in the backfield, and then watch Colin Schooler right there. He's going to come in. There's going to be a blitz look for Texas Tech. But Texas Tech does what they want to and gets the matchup they want, right? Because watch 1, 2, 3. Especially this guy, right? This linebacker right here. As this play starts, watch, he's going to start going to that, right? And now these 3 offensive linemen are going to be on these 3 defensive linemen, right? And so, because this linebacker is crossing over with this linebacker, this linebacker is going to have that free rush almost. Well, it's not a free rush because he's not a free runner, but he's getting a one-on-one with a running back in blitz. That's with a full head of steam. That's exactly what you want if you're Texas Tech. So let's watch how that works out. So again, keep your eye on this guy and Dominic Richardson. So watch Richardson. He's going to step up, see Schooler, and just keep him at bay. And because of that, Spencer's able to throw it, get a first down. Then over here, Richardson just slides over and takes out Cole Birmingham's man, essentially. Right there, right? Takes him there. And so what does that do? That gives Cole Birmingham right here kind of the versatility to, slide back over if someone else needs some help, or just watch for a delayed blitzer who could come late. Like this guy who ends up just stepping around because looks like he's man-to-man coverage. But because of that, there's just more and more benefit when you're able to get good pass protection like that. Now, they don't complete it, but that's the look you're looking for. And this one is key because this is a play where if Richardson doesn't slide over, this is potentially a sack. So Richardson on the play action goes over and helps Cole Birmingham. Now, it's key, again, because right here, you watch Cole Birmingham. He's starting to slip, and this is the blind side. Good chance Spencer Sanders doesn't see it. But because Richardson's able to go in there, shoulder him, and hold him for just another second to let Sanders step up in that pocket, that's able to create that first down throw. Then over here, Richardson just does a good job tagging up with Braden Cassidy on this dude on the corner. So he's there. And then watch, Richardson just hold him there. Now Sanders has to escape because this guy's right in his face, but he does. And Richardson does his job, right? He makes it so that he can take out one guy. Does the right thing. Because if not, that guy would have already been in Sanders' face. But because of that, Sanders can escape, use his athletic ability, and go and run for almost a first down. Now we've taken a look at some of the rushing ability and some of those traits. I want to take a look at how it all comes together. And we'll start with the RPOs. OSU runs a ton of RPOs. And, Dominic Richardson, like any of these running backs, are going to be involved in them. And, it's not to say Dominic Richardson's the guy who's going to make these RPOs fly. But having a run game that's working is only going to help, defenders creep up a little bit and open up those spaces for the passes. So I just want to take a look at how some of these things are formed. So we're going to have a screen to Tay Martin on this play. So as Sanders grabs it, he's reading, right? He's reading this guy right here. And because, we'll step back just a second. You watch that linebacker right here, right? Keep your eyes on him. And as this play's going, right, watch him just creep up a couple steps right before he does that. He'll step right there, right? He takes in those couple steps. Rewind real quick. Right here, right? Keep your eyes on him. Watch in slow motion. Just him creep up just a little bit. Just those couple steps subtly. Now that opens up for Blaine Green to come make that block and give Tay Martin the option to run. And what else is very key on this play is that this safety up here is being taken out of play. Right here, this guy. Watch him spin down as soon as that snap is taken. He's anticipating run, right? Now he's in the box. And because of that, Sanders can pull it and go. Some of the usage. Now we go to the next one. And we start with John Paul Richardson in the slot. Now here we're going to be watching this guy right here because that's who Sanders is watching. Colin Schooler. So again, keep your eyes on Schooler. So as Sanders takes that snap, watch Schooler, right? He just goes up just a couple steps. Real quick. Right, keep your eyes on Schooler. In slow motion, watch him. He's going to creep up a couple of steps, right? And because of that, Sanders tucks it, or rather takes it, and is going to pass. So watch it in full motion now. So as Schooler steps in, now you got JPR on the stick route. And why is that key? Because you're opening up this whole area right here, right? Watch. Right here. Because Schooler's in, now you've got all this open green grass. And when you're throwing it in just those minute little windows, and obviously, this is a pretty big window, but Sanders now can throw it pretty easily. And why he can throw it to the side he throws it at, right? I remember this throw live. It looked like it was very inaccurate. But when you see it again, this cornerback right here, he's come off of Tay Martin to kind of put some pressure on it, possibly intercept it if it's more to the outside. But because Schooler is so inside because of that RPO, Sanders can afford to throw it more to the inside and let JPR make a good catch. Let's watch that in full speed. Right here, right? Fakes the handoff, grabs it, and pass it over there. Now, lastly, we'll take a look at some of those read option looks. With Spencer Sanders' rushing ability, it's always a threat, and it goes hand in hand, right? If the run game's going well, it's going to open up better lanes for Sanders to run. Sanders running well, or just his threat of him running, is going to open the run game. And then over here, we watch that on the little keeper here, right? Hands there, and watch this linebacker. Again, he's slowly creeping, and even if he doesn't, even if he's staying outside, you still got lead blockers here and here. But from there, Sanders can keep it. You got Blaine Green, you got Logan Carter, and then watch here, Carter can just engage there, and Sanders goes out and goes and grabs a bunch of yards. Now this one's going to be key. Watch these two linebackers right here. As soon as this play is snapped, they're going to be rushing in. This is probably a blitz called. So because they're rushing in fully, right? Now, what does that do? That absorbs that middle. And then you got Logan Carter from him kind of playing that H-back fullback role, and he's going to make a nice little chip block. And this defender on the edge right here, he's going to come down, and you see here, right? Watch him. At this point, he thinks Richardson has the ball. He's confused, right? He's bamboozled. Now, what do you have? You have Logan Carter, who can just make a straight block right there, and then you got Sanders uncovered. Now, let's watch that from the beginning. Right here, right? So, keeps it. Block, where's that block, and then Sanders can just fly right through. Now this one has a lot of elements that I want to highlight. We'll start with Jalen Petrie right here, one of the best defensive players in the country. And right here on 3rd and 2, this Baylor defense is committed to stopping the run and getting the ball back. And watch Petrie right here. He's just going right in for the kill. He goes and tries to tackle a Dominic Richardson that does not have the ball. Number 2, we watch this linebacker right here. Right? Once that ball snapped and looks like a handoff, watch him. He goes right in. Right? Now number 3. His safety up at the top right there. He's also going to creep in more than a few steps, right? And why is that key? We'll see in a second. So now that safety's up there near the box, right? Almost trying to make that tackle. So now, because all those guys are gravitating toward Richardson, Cassidy's coming over right here. He ends up being a lead blocker. But watch him right here. He gets just enough of a block to make that defender right there fall on his feet. And then from there, you use Sanders' legs, just his ability to go make guys miss, his speed, his everything, right? Let's watch it full speed. Right there. Goes. Cassidy continues to make the block. Sanders trips up, but gets a lot of yards on that play. And that's just a culmination of how it works, right? Those read option, those keepers. So now as we enter 2022, Dominic Richardson is that RB1, but he's also a firmly entrenched RB1 with, on paper, guys who are not going to get a lot of carries. Maybe someone develops, maybe someone emerges as a freshman. Richardson was pretty good as a freshman, so you never know. But it's going to be interesting to see how it kind of shakes out. But from everything I've seen, he's definitely capable of leading this backfield.